The deceptive dance of the tortoise. It was the kind of day that sticks in your memory forever. The sun hung high in the sky, and the air was thick with excitement. But what I remember most vividly is the sight of the mighty elephant, bound and helpless, standing in front of the palace, and the little tortoise, grinning slyly as if he had just won a great battle. How could such a small creature defeat one so powerful? That day was not just about an animal and a marriage proposal, it was about wit versus strength. Let me take you back to that day, long before the sun dipped below the horizon, and the villagers gathered around to hear the news that would change everything. The village was abuzz with chatter. News spread like wildfire. The king had declared that anyone who could bring a big animal would win the hand of his beautiful daughter. It didn't take long for the excitement to grow. Animals of all sizes began to strategize. Lions boasted of their strength, and leopards whispered plans in the shadows. But among them, there was a little tortoise named Obinna, who was often overlooked and laughed at for his small size. Obinna was wise, though. He had seen many things in his years and knew that brains could outsmart brawn. While the others debated and discussed, Obinna quietly hatched a plan. Obinna approached the wise owl, who lived high in the ancient baobab tree. "Owl, I need your help," he said. The owl blinked and listened closely. "I want to marry the princess, but I cannot take on the elephant or any other large animal. They would crush me." The owl nodded. "You must find a way to use their size against them. The elephant is strong but foolish. Use that to your advantage." Obinna smiled. He had always admired the elephant, a gentle giant who roamed the forest, but he knew that his size could be a weakness. The next morning, Obinna set off to find the elephant. As he made his way through the tall grass, he spotted the elephant drinking from a stream. The tortoise took a deep breath, gathered his courage, and approached. "Greetings, mighty elephant," he called out, his voice echoing in the quiet forest. The elephant raised his massive head and looked down at the tiny tortoise. "What do you want, little one?" "I come with a great opportunity," Obinna said, puffing out his chest to seem more important. "The king has chosen you to lead a grand celebration in honor of his daughter. He is looking for a strong animal like you." The elephant's ears perked up, and he trumpeted in excitement. "Me? Lead a celebration? Why, I would be honored." The deception begins. Obinna could see that he had the elephant's attention. However, he continued, "I am old and frail. I cannot walk as fast as you. Might I ride on your back to the palace? It would be a shame if I couldn't keep up." The elephant, full of pride and excitement, obliged. "Of course, little tortoise. Climb on." As they made their way toward the palace, Obinna felt a thrill of victory. The wind rushed past them, and the tortoise shouted directions as if he were the one in charge. "Go left." "No, right. Watch your step." The elephant followed without question, happy to be part of such an important event. But Obinna wasn't finished yet. When they reached the palace gates, Obinna had a plan. He turned to the elephant and said, "To make a grand entrance, you should wear a rope around your neck. It will show everyone that you are the leader and ready for the celebration." The elephant, not suspecting a thing, agreed. "That sounds wonderful. I shall wear it proudly." As the elephant bowed his head, Obinna quickly tied the rope around his neck, ensuring it was snug. He chuckled softly to himself, the excitement building inside him. The time had come to show everyone his cleverness. The grand palace was buzzing with guests. Animals of all kinds gathered, each hoping to impress the king with their size and strength. Obinna and the elephant made their way to the throne room, where the king sat, resplendent in his robes. When they entered, the crowd fell silent. Obinna shouted, "Behold, great king! I bring you the mighty elephant as a gift." He shall serve you well. The king raised an eyebrow, intrigued. You, little tortoise, bring me an elephant. Obina nodded confidently. Yes, I have led him here, and he is yours to command. The crowd gasped, unsure if they should laugh or applaud. How could such a tiny creature claim to have tamed a giant? But before the king could respond, Obina pulled on the rope, catching the elephant off guard. The elephant stumbled forward, confused and shocked. What is happening? He trumpeted, trying to shake off the rope. The king's expression changed from intrigue to disbelief. What trickery is this? He demanded, rising from his throne. Obina's heart raced. He had to act quickly. Your Majesty, I assure you, this is no trick. The elephant is here to serve you. Look how he obeys. The elephant, still bewildered, tried to break free, but the rope held tight. Obina had tied it well, and his small size allowed him to maintain control over the larger animal. The king stepped forward, inspecting the scene. The crowd murmured, and the tension in the air grew thick. You mean to say that this tortoise has outsmarted the elephant? He asked incredulously. Yes, great king. Obina replied, trying to sound as convincing as possible. He may be strong, but he is also foolish. I am wise, and together we can bring great honor to your kingdom. The king looked at the elephant, who was now struggling against the rope. Is this true, elephant? Did you allow this tortoise to control you? The elephant, realizing the truth, hung his head in shame. I was fooled by his words, my king. I believed I was chosen for greatness. The king's expression shifted from disbelief to amusement. He turned to the crowd, who were now laughing and whispering. It seems we have a clever tortoise among us. Perhaps wit and wisdom are just as valuable as strength. Obina felt a wave of pride wash over him. He had turned the situation around, and now the king seemed to appreciate his cunning nature. May I have your permission to marry your daughter? He asked boldly. The king chuckled. You, little tortoise, have brought me an elephant as a gift. You may indeed ask for my daughter's hand, but know this, if you outsmarted the elephant, you must keep her happy and treat her well. And so, the wedding was arranged. The animals of the forest gathered to celebrate, and the little tortoise became the husband of the beautiful princess. The elephant, though embarrassed, remained a loyal friend, always remembering the day he was outsmarted by the smallest creature in the land. As the festivities continued, I watched from the sidelines, amazed by the turn of events. Obina had not only married the princess but had also shown everyone that sometimes, it's not the size of the animal that matters, but the size of the mind. The legacy. Years passed, and Obina and the princess lived happily together. The elephant often visited them, sharing tales of adventure and laughter. The tortoise, now known as the wisest of all, told stories of his cleverness to the younger animals, teaching them that wit could win over brute strength. The tale of Obina and the elephant spread throughout the kingdom, and every time it was told, the villagers would gather, eager to hear the story of the little tortoise who dared to challenge the mighty elephant and won the heart of a princess. And that's how I came to witness the most incredible event in our village's history: a clever tortoise, a foolish elephant, and a king who learned that intelligence can be just as powerful as strength. It was a lesson not just for the animals, but for all of us. Never underestimate the small, sometimes, they hold the greatest wisdom. As I look back now, I still remember the laughter, the joy, and the cleverness that surrounded that day. It was a reminder that in life, even the smallest among us can make a big impact if they only have the courage to try. So this is one way to interpret the folktale narrated in the popular song by Mike Ejiga.